Oh yeah, here we are. Here we are. What's up, everyone? Welcome to my weekly YouTube live Q&A. You guys ask the questions, and of course I answer them, or at least pretend like I know the answer to them and am very convincing when I do so. So if you're new here, welcome. If not, welcome back. The way that I usually do these, I'll give the chat a few minutes, let people jump on, drop their questions, and the first few minutes we talk about a topic in dog training. This week's going to be raising a new puppy because I'm pretty much raising a new puppy, and I'm going to document the entire thing step by step on my Patreon, patreon.com/Andy Kruger. I'll pin the link in the top comment when this is over. But basically, some friends of mine, they just got a new female German Shepherd puppy. So I'm going to have it for a few days here, a few days there, all throughout the first 6-12 months of this puppy's life, and I'm going to help them raise it. Now, I think you guys will really like the series because, you know, this isn't like my dog Freddie, who's being raised here for competition at the Dog Oasis. This is going to be a typical family dog. Young family, 2 little kids, live in a condo. So I think it'll be a lot more relatable than maybe my own personal dog. So I'm looking forward to that. I already have 3 really cool videos of her. I go over crate training day 1. Oh my gosh, you guys need that. I go over how a good breeder will do early neurological stimulation with the puppy. That's good for them for so many reasons. And I do a video on what that looks like and how you can piggyback off those exercises and techniques when you get the puppy at 8 weeks old. I go over activating puppy's prey drive, how and why with a flirt pole. All right, we don't want them to activate it on the kids. We want it on the flirt pole. So already some cool stuff, but there's definitely gonna be some more cool stuff coming. I don't know if it's a tip, but food for thought, I wanted to give you guys at the top here, raising a new puppy. If the lifestyle is right, the management of the puppy and of the puppy's lifestyle is perfect to my standard, obedience doesn't even matter the first couple months. You could get away with not touching. He'll sit down, stay, wait, quiet, leave it, off, no, drop it. Sure, you can start things from day 1. If the lifestyle's right, if you manage it correctly, you could have so much success in those first couple months without even luring into a sit, into a down, trying to make it wait for its food. I'm telling you what, that's the biggest area that needs improvement with the average puppy owner. Of course, the training itself could always be a little better, but outside of training, everything that's done with the puppy from day 1, puppy's learning, things are happening here, and we need to be aware of those. So the series is definitely going to tackle all the lifestyle stuff that I recommend, how to manage the puppy, what expectations to have, at what age. But for all you watching at home right now, the leash is your friend. Stop giving the puppy hours and hours of freedom in the house at a time off leash, because you're going to develop problems. And once certain windows close we can't reopen them. You have a window from 2 to 3 months old with your puppy. So much good stuff we can do. The window's closed. Now we have a nice new one open, but that one's closed. So don't blow it, people. I say in the video on my Patreon, do not wing it. Don't wing it. Don't rip your entire kitchen apart and then stand around and go, you know what? We may need a contractor. No, get them before you rip it apart. So little Kilo is the female shepherd's name. She's a cutie. I think she's going to be a lot of fun. And even if she's not a lot of fun, she's not technically my dog. So it's kind of a win-win for me anyways. Okay. Give you guys something to think about. It's all about the lifestyle. I'm telling you what. It's all about the lifestyle. It's got to be dialed in. It's not quite what you guys would think. Let's get into the questions. I think we got a couple right off the top about puppies. This one's coming in from Andrew. Andrew, welcome. Great name, by the way. That's a solid name. How do you train 2 puppies at the same time? 4 months apart. Thank you. Well, Andrew, it actually wouldn't matter if they were the same age, if they were 4 months apart, if they were 4 years apart. One wouldn't be a puppy anymore, but you get the idea. So I'm glad you included the detail, but puppies doesn't actually matter here for anyone else watching. If you have an older dog, younger dog, and you get a new dog, this is all the same. Andrew, it's completely separate. That's how you do it. Separate. That's it. This is how I roll, guys. If I have 2 dogs I'm training, I want a solo relationship with one. I want a solo relationship with the other. And not just for days or weeks, but I want to cultivate that relationship. I want to put in the time, the work, the energy. I want to grow with Fluffy number 1. And then when Fluffy number 1 is put away and resting, I want to grow with Fluffy number 2. And I'm not even going to dream about putting them together, attempting to train them together, until I have a very solid relationship, handle, and commands on both of the dogs or puppies. And I don't like the crates next to each other either. No, I have one crate in the garage. I have one crate in the mudroom. I have one crate in the basement. I have one crate in the spare bedroom. I'm not crating up. When they come out of the crate, it's separate. I go get Fluffy 2. We do our thing, put them away. I go get Fluffy 1, do our thing, put them away. Having 2 dogs is literally like 3 times the work. People go, oh, 2 dogs, well, keep each other busy. It's actually not. It's 3 times the work because you need to take all that time and energy invested in one. You then have to be done with that, go do the exact same with dog number 2, double the work, and then by the time you've put in tons and tons of work, now we got to get them both working, acclimated around each other. Who didn't put do not disturb on? What are we doing here? Who's calling me? No one ever called me during the lives. They're fired. I don't have any employees. One time I was raising 3 puppies just because I was. 3 Malinois, litter mates, all separated. I'd go and do something with this one, and it'd take me a half hour. Okay, then I'd go do the same exact thing with the other one. Okay, then put it away. And by the time the 3rd one came, I was like, oh my God, I don't want to do another freaking confidence building drill. So it's It's a lot of work. It has to be separate. There's no way around it for me. Andrew also says, what do you do with a puppy that has random spurts of aggression? Was being good with a toddler, then nipped at him after being around him. Well, Andrew, that's going to be a no-go for me. Look, I understand what you're saying with the random spurts of aggression. I get what you mean. Aggression's never random. There's always a purpose for it, and there's always precursors to it. It's never, oh, if you think, oh my God, that was so random, I get it, but you're not paying close enough attention and or kind of know what you're looking at, because that's going to be telegraphed in some way. Here's the problem. I don't know the age of the puppy, but was being good with a toddler, I'm already out on that. And then nipped at him after being around him. Yeah, I mean, this is kind of what I was talking about at the top. The lifestyle and the management of the puppy. It is more crucial than obedience training by far. For a new puppy, of course, once we get to a certain age, obedience training is just as important. But 8 weeks to 12, 16 weeks, no, not a chance. And that's what we're seeing with Andrew's question. Puppy was not put in a situation it should be put in. Wasn't managed properly. Sounds like it was off leash. Sounds like it could go right up into a toddler space anytime it wanted, and it nipped. I don't know the breed of the dog, but this is, as a puppy, that's genetics. Puppies nip. What was it, a cattle dog? Is it a Malinois? For me, that's an absolute no-go. That puppy's not going near my toddler, period. Sorry. That puppy's not going near my toddler. Ain't happening. But Andy, it's a family dog. We're going to get... It's not going near the toddler. Any puppy that nips at the toddler and random spurts of aggression, they're not going near the toddler, period. For how long? They're not going near the toddler. That's just me. So many things need to happen before those two can be reintroduced back into a situation, but this is why the management, Andrew, is so important from day one, because that's a situation that should have never happened. Sorry. Now the puppy's done it. The puppy's practiced it. So now it's could be a bit of a problem. The lifestyle choices for sure. Bad situation to be in. Don't put it in that situation again. Here's from Colton. Hey, Andy, at what age would you start playing with the ball on a string and teaching out? Four to 6 months old is good for that. Here's Ashley. Patreon crew, loving the pink collar puppy series. Showing us how to do everything right from the beginning. Answering questions I didn't even know I had. I'm glad you brought that up, Ashley, because really, the playlist, it's raising a new puppy, video number 1, crate training. But even if you have a 6-month, 12-month, 2-year-old dog, the stuff I go over in that crate training video, it answers questions you didn't even know that you had. And it benefits older dogs too. Speaking of Ashley, one of my top students, right after I'm done with this live, I'm going to put the finishing touches on editing a Patreon video of Ashley Borden training a dog reactive female German Shepherd. And we're going to go over, I'm going to break down her corrections, things she did good, areas where she needs to fix a few things. I think people are really going to like that video. I really like it. Thanks for letting me use the stuff, Ashley, but that's going to be a good one dropping on Patreon here today. Hello from Syracuse. What's up? What's up, crew? My 5-month-old Belgian loves running. Well, if he didn't, there might be a problem, right? I need so much help. Well, you came to the wrong place. Just kidding. I have a 6-month-old Shepherd Malinois mix. I'm having the most difficult time getting him to be consistently following basic commands. We've been trying for a few months. He's also insane when he's outside. Constantly foraging and eating everything. I'm keeping on an extremely short leash, but I don't know if this is right. Doesn't sound right to me. I have him on a slip leash. I'm worried about his neck. He's constantly pulling and trying to eat everything. So I try to keep him on a really short leash, but it's not improving. Yeah, AG, everything all wrong here. All that's definitely wrong. When you say you've been trying for a few months, here's the thing. I believe you, but it's ineffective because you can try for months or years, but if you're not attempting all the exact right things, all of that will be useless. You might as well not try at all. AG. I'm glad you're here on the chat asking. First step. How much have you invested in a professional trainer? That's the question. Maybe we'll find out later. For most people, the answer is usually zero. Because I've heard things like this a lot. Oh, my dog, I need so much help. I'm trying to train him, but he doesn't follow commands. He goes outside. He's crazy. He's doing this. I got him on a leash. He's choking. I don't know what to do. Hey, there's that. How much have you invested in getting help from a professional dog trainer? Whether that be in person or whether it be online. An actual professional who, for a living, that's all they do, is work with and train dogs. It could be a video from Learburg. It could be my Patreon. It could be the local dog training facility. How much have you invested in that training? It could be, $25. I've been on Patreon for a month, the trainer tier. It could be, I've done 6 lessons with the local trainer. It cost me $800. But that's where you need to start. Because without professional instruction given to you specifically, you're just going to keep trying and nothing's going to work. So I'm going to give you a challenge. I'm sorry. Oh, Andy, shut up with the Patreon. Here's the challenge. The tier that has everything that you're going to need, it's $25 a month. Some say that's cheap. Some say that's a lot. It's $25 a month. You pay month to month. On the first of the month, sign up, pay your $25. On the 29th or 30th of the month, cancel the membership. But for every single day of the month, you pick and you watch one video on the Patreon. It doesn't even have to be relevant to your dog. Start the puppy series with First Day in the Crate. That's going to help you right there. Watch one video a day. Every single day. The videos are 10 to 20 minutes generally. Now, when you watch that video, see how that applies to your dog. Go do what you saw in the video with your dog. Even if it's not relevant to any of your problems, go do that. Keep notes. As you watch the video, jot down some things that pop out to you. Do that every single day for 1 month. Between a 10 to 20 minute video, maybe pausing it, taking some notes, going over a part maybe. Let's say at the most, that sit down is a half hour. That's on the high end. Now you pull out your dog to go replicate what you saw in the video, start to finish. Max it'll ever be. Max is a half hour. That's max. Okay. So right there in that day, that's 1 hour. 1 hour a day. Not even 1 hour of a sit down. It's 20 minutes here. No, you can be on your phone. You can be listening to it on the treadmill. You can be eating breakfast. Guys, if you don't have time or the resources for that, you don't deserve to have a trained dog, because it takes the work. But in every one of those videos you're going to watch there's not going to be any information that's just bad and just off. That's the challenge. There's nothing cheaper in dog training. It's 25 bucks, and then it's a bunch of your time. I want to see the notes though. We got to take notes, quarter page, skip lines, half a page, every day on the video you saw. If you and your dog aren't a million times better after that month, it's just impossible. But that's really what we need to do. Okay, what do we got here? Thank you, Ashley. Thank you. Thank you. AG says, I haven't invested in a trainer. And that's totally fine, but I knew it. And that's totally fine. Because now you're here. And AG, if you're like, Andy, quit trying to sell me that Patreon. I ain't paying you 25 bucks. Go through my YouTube channel, which is free. You have to watch commercials. No ads on the Patreon. Go back through all my YouTube videos. It won't be anywhere near as good, but at least now you start that process of watching a video, taking some notes, trying it with the dog. See, the YouTube isn't so much instructional, me really training you. You know, it's more of a little bit of a showcase, but there's good lessons in there. But you gotta be, I'm telling you, you gotta invest in a trainer. Okay, and you'll join. Thank you. Thank you. One time, okay, AJ, I don't mean to pick on you here, and I'm not trying to pick on you. One time, years and years ago, I was at a family dinner with a bunch of family and then like other people that I didn't know. And they're like, oh my God, you're a dog trainer? And I go, oh, God dang it. Oh, yeah. They're like, oh my God, our dog jumps all over everyone, no matter what you do. Like, there's no way you could get her to stop jumping. We've tried everything. Our dog jumps all over everyone, like no matter what. We've tried everything. We've tried everything. And then I went like, the whole time just, uh-huh. Uh-huh. Oh, okay. Uh-huh. We've tried everything. I do this. I go like this. I go. Have you tried hiring a dog trainer? They go, well, no. You've tried everything. You haven't even tried the first thing. You haven't even tried the first thing. Oh, man. My ceiling in my house is caving in. We've tried everything to stop it, and it just keeps falling. We've tried everything. Have you called a contractor that did? No, never once. I'm not saying that's you, IG. That was just a funny exchange at a dinner where I was like, you've tried have you asked a professional and paid them for their time? No. Oh. Because to me, that's everything. We've worked with this trainer. We've worked with that trainer. We sent him to the top trainer in the country. We flew there. We dropped it off for 2 months. We flew back. We flew that trainer in for follow-up. We drive 2 hours every week to go to this train. They go, no, we've never tried a trainer. Oh, okay. Well, now I've made you look foolish at this dinner. I hope you're happy. Thanks for making me do that. You won't be disappointed, AG. Is there any way to send you a picture of my Belgian to you? I believe he's Belgian, but not 100% no. I've been told he is. Yeah, unfortunately, I don't think you can attach pictures to YouTube in any way. But to be honest with you, David, I wouldn't have the foggiest idea looking at your dog, what kind of breed it is. You're better off doing the DNA test. I'd probably say, kind of looks like one, or I don't know, maybe not, maybe. That would be about my you don't want my assessment on that. Tommy G, finally part of your Patreon. Let's go. Andy didn't pay me to say this, but damn, it's really good, helpful information. The one person I didn't pay. Thanks, Tommy. I'm glad you're liking it. Hi, Andy. Thinking about command words, can it be a problem when everybody uses the same commands? Would the dog respond to a stranger? Or maybe I should use different words? No, that's never been a problem. People think that and say that, like, well, a stranger could just have it in a different language. No, stranger, it's never been a problem. You'll be totally fine. Andy, in this video I sent you, was Heidi's heel too loose when working around Lincoln? Could have been tighter, but I felt like it flattened her. It was fine. So Ashley, if you didn't hear before, I'm going to post a video today with that critique on Patreon, but it was fine. Ashley, also true or false, Heidi's the reactive German Shepherd she's training. When working Heidi and heel around other dogs, the slip is strictly for reactivity and the prong to keep the perfect position. That's correct. Yeah, guys, slip leashes, they have a certain purpose. Used for some things, they're great. Used for others, they're a disaster. Like AG, walking the dog that kind of pulls and goes for the ground on the slip, that's going to be a no-go for the slip. But to correct reactivity or to teach negative reinforcement, that's where they're good. AG's joining. $75 tier. You won't be disappointed. We'll fix this up. Okay, here's Andrew with the 2 dogs. Thanks, Andy, for the info. Would you suggest pro classes, Patreon, for these 2 dogs coming home from deployment and they've got no real training, plus a 1-month-old baby now in the home? I mean, of course, I'm going to say, yeah, jump on that and join that. I am biased, but I do believe it's one of the best dog training resources you can get online today. It's not cookie cutter courses that you just get through and then, okay, I got it. It kind of embodies training as a lifestyle more than it is just a task that needs to get finished and then we move on from it. It's a little bit more of a lifestyle, and my videos reflect that. I would challenge you, Andrew, to that 1 month challenge that I issued to AG, throw down a couple bucks, hit it hard for a month, and then after that you decide, okay, you know what? We're sticking with this 3 months. We're on this all year long. Or you think after a month, you go, hey, this dog training stuff's hard. I don't know if I have the time or desire for this, but at least you got in there and you found the information that you need. That's my hope. So give it a shot. Just want to say thanks for posting videos of different tips and tricks to do while training, especially for folks like myself that like doing our own training. You're welcome, John. As much as I like to do board and trains, and board and trains can be very effective, people gotta work with their own dogs. I say my board and train is a great start. Your dog's commands will be, more than started after the board and train, but the board and train's the start. That's the catalyst. You need to work with your own dog. Whether you're going to do it all yourself or get help from a trainer in one way or another, if you don't like training your own dog, that means that you just don't like training. So let me show you different training that you'll probably like. And even if after that you still don't like it, well, then having a trained dog is not for you. I like playing baseball. If the next guy does not like playing baseball, well, he's just not going to be good at baseball then. And I am. If you don't like training your dog, you're not going to have a well-trained dog. It's really one of the best parts of owning a dog. That whole bond you establish through training, through playing, through your lifestyle together, through exactly when you reward them, how you reward them, why you're rewarding them, what behaviors you try to discourage, how you try to do that, when, why. The whole thing about having a great training session with your dog, there's almost no better feeling. So people that don't like training, I think you just don't get training, because it's really one of the best parts about having a dog. And when you have great training with your dog, think about all the other things you love about your dog. Oh, the companionship. They're my emotional support animal. My whole day revolves around them. I'm always thinking about all the stuff you enjoy. They sleep in my bed. Not till they're older and trained, they don't. All that stuff you enjoy, you're going to enjoy it more when the dog's nicely trained. I promise you that. I tell all my clients, whether it's on Patreon or they come to me, say the dog's got a bunch of behaviors they don't like. If you enjoy the dog now, oh my gosh, after training, it's going to be through the roof. Your dog's reactive, your dog rips your arm out, you can't trust your dog, and you love your dog now? Oh my God, when they don't do that stuff anymore, it's going to be like a whole new world. So you got to like training your dog. People go, oh, I need him trained. But do you want to train him? You have to want it. $25 is a great deal. Thank you, David. Dog training has a real common sense element to it people overlook. Yeah, Kyle, I agree with you. Dog training has a real common sense element to it that people overlook. Well, a lot of people overlook that, yes, but then the double-edged sword of that common sense is a lot of people think they get dog training because they go, oh, your dog needs rules. You need to, and they go, oh yeah, no, that all makes sense. That makes sense. That makes sense. And then they think they get it. But all they get is they heard a sentence and they agree with it. Doesn't mean you can apply anything to this dog or any other dog. So sometimes because it is common sense, a lot of people think they know a lot of stuff, but in reality they don't. But yeah, on the other hand, if you were here a few minutes ago, we've tried everything to get the dog to stop jumping. Nothing will ever work. Have you hired a dog trainer? No, never once. And by the way, I was trying to make them look foolish. I knew they didn't. I was being a little sneaky with that question. I did that to zing them. Let's be honest. But to me, it was such common sense. Seriously, it's like saying in my house, I have such an electric problem in my house, none of the lights turn on. And I've tried everything. I cannot get the lights to turn on in my house. I've tried everything. Have you called an electrician and had them come over to look at it? No, never once. Why? What? That's the first thing you try. It's funny. What's the biggest thing in training my 9-month-old Czech Shepherd in protection? I want to make sure he learns to target the man and not fixate on equipment only. Yeah, you would really like different police dog trainers, different IGP trainers, aggression fence technique, or whatever they call it. Basically a 3-sided fence where, you got the front of the fence here, and then you have kind of 2 sides that come here. And then you have the dog back tied, right? Whether it's a handler posting them out or they're on an actual post. And you got the man with no equipment on that other side of the fence. And they're not putting the dog into prey. They're locking eyes with the dog. They're sitting there. When the dog has a reaction to it, whoa, they get real scared. And the dog shows some real good forward aggression towards just the man, looking him right in the eye. Then, boom, you can throw over like a bite roll or something to reward them for that. But for the biggest thing in protection training, you don't want them to fixate on the equipment. Don't give them equipment to fixate on. You put the dog up in a box. Boom, sleeve is on the ground. Here's the box out of sight from the dog. So you boogeyman, you threaten the dog. Whoa, 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 whoa. No equipment anywhere. Whoa, whoa, whoa. And then you can let him vent that and lock into a bite on something that you pull out. But if you don't want him to get fixated on the equipment, don't show him the equipment. Nothing amuses me more than people asking questions on live that require eyes and hands on the dog to answer. That's true, Kyle, but if they can't ask here, where are they going to ask? Well, I guess on Patreon. See, Kyle, that's part of the problem with dog training, is that so many times I need to see the dog and see what the owner's doing with the dog in the situation, and I need to know the whole backstory of the dog. What's a typical day like? Don't lie to me, etc., etc. And then I can give you, because there's some information you can generalize, but out of 100, it's 5 10% of things in dog. So for the sit, lower the piece of food above their head. When their butt hits the ground, give them the treat. There's general information you can apply to pretty much every dog, but the reason why those positive only classes that cost hundreds of dollars at PetSmart and pretty much get you nowhere, a reason why they pretty much get you nowhere is because that's all general information that everyone comes through. They give the same information, whereas my Patreon, I get to know a lot of people on there personally, and they send me videos of their dogs, and I critique the videos they send me of the dogs, and I ask follow-up questions, and that's what the people are paying for. So without that visual, I compare it. You might have heard it in past lives, but if you're a music teacher and you have a student, there's only so much you can talk about music until you just have to hear it. So your student go, oh yeah, teacher, so I can't get this song to sound exactly like the original. And I'm trying all the stuff you told me, but I just can't get the song to sound like it. What should I do? What is the music teacher going to say? They're going to say, play the song. I need to hear it. I need to see it. Show me. Speaking of my Patreon, I'm sorry, guys. There's not a lot of other platforms that dog trainers have where there's a huge library of video content. A lot of them have that. Sure, you can interact with them too, but how specific some of the videos are. The exchange of messages, videos, voice notes that I have with my patrons, some of my students, I'm not really aware of another platform with a credible trainer like that to that extent. Most of the time it's these videos are for sale, go buy them. And it's the same 3-4 series of videos for everyone. Tough to give that general information, it really is. In puppy bite development, is too much prey movement from the decoy a bad thing? I mean, that depends, Tommy. But if the dog needs it, you need to do a lot of prey movement. If the dog needs it, dog checks out, isn't that into it, genetics aren't really there, they'll start eating a leaf as you're teasing them, they'll check out, they'll get bored, they'll go jump on their handler, they don't really care to be here, then you'd need a lot of prey movement for a puppy like that. But a puppy that's good to go, likes the game, no, you do not want a lot of prey movement because one, the dog will start to rely on it, but two, you're going to overstimulate the dog. You're going to lock the dog into prey. You're going to make him a prey monster, which isn't really a good thing. You need to be able to pull him out of that prey when they get older. Okay, prey time over. Back to board time for you, heel. So, too much is a bad thing with a good dog. Sorry, guys, not to say the dog isn't good. I just mean good in prey. You know what I'm saying. Come on. Thanks, Andrew. He's joining today. Does the training have to be with my wife and I together? One-on-one with me, then her? Or will the training cross over from giving commands as well? That's a great question, Andrew. The wife has to be directly involved every single step of the way. It'll never, ever work where then you can train it, then she can say commands and it'll do it. Everyone has to prove themselves to the dog and that they know every single step through that process to the dog. It's crucial you guys hit this with teamwork. Crucial. I've had so many clients where we're planning to go home And I say, how's this date and time? And they go, oh yeah, that's great. My wife won't be home, but I'll be, and then I can just relay the information. And then I go, well, absolutely that won't work. We need to do it when your wife's there. There's no relaying the information. It's got to be from the horse's mouth. It's got to be every step of the way. AG's on Patreon now. He says, forgive my ignorance. Do I start with the puppy training collection? There's so many collections. Yes, start with the puppy training collection. And there are a lot of collections. There's a collection for engagement, puppy training, crate training, healing, recall, climbing, e-collar, prong collar, reactive dog. There's a lot, but it's okay to go on there and be a little overwhelmed the first day. It's okay to be overwhelmed the first day. If it's your first day ever walking into a library and there's a bunch of info you want to get, you're going to be overwhelmed. There's tens of thousands of books. Which one is my book? You're going to be overwhelmed. If you're learning to work on cars, never have in your life, you walk into a big automotive shop, you got all the mechanics working, you go, oh my God, this is overwhelming. I don't even know how to change the oil. It's okay to be overwhelmed. That's normal. Start with the puppy training. Remember, AG, you got time. 1 month? Let's give it 2 months. You have your time to just, let me watch this video. So don't stress about finding the exact right video right away and doing them all in the exact order you need to do them. No, 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 no. No. It's a science, but it is an art. Just grab a video, sit back, relax, enjoy it, no stress. Why do people try to ban all these great training tools like prong collars, crates, and e-collars when it's not the tool's fault, it's the crazy idiot using it? Yeah, why do people try to ban the tools? There's 2 reasons. Genuine ignorance. They really don't get the tools. Or they're very emotionally invested in dogs in training. Oh, it's so mean. That hurts them. Does that shock them? Guys, when it comes to matter-of-fact things, like physical pieces of training equipment, I don't like emotional arguments. It's a trick. No emotions in training. I don't like the emotional arguments. And guys, here's a tip. When someone makes an argument for a tool and it's emotional, just, okay, cool, thank you. Have a nice day. You're out. Oh, those prong collars are so mean. They hurt dogs. That shocks them. You have to shock them to listen. Think of how mean that is to shock your puppy in order for them to listen. There's better ways to do it. You trap them in that crate. How would you like being locked in a crate? It's like being in a small jail cell. It's all emotional arguments. It's nothing that's matter of fact to the piece of equipment. It's just that they're mean and they hurt. So look for matter of fact arguments. And then you'll know maybe you have a good debate or source of information on your hands. A lot of people banning the tools, though, they're all very emotional. I've never seen someone come out matter of fact and tell me why another piece of equipment is superior. It's always because it doesn't hurt the dog in some way. It's never, no, because the way this works and this and then this, oh, it hurts some less. No pain here. Just saying. I guess the reason why I never hired a dog trainer is because I am afraid of getting a bad trainer. So many conflicting argumentative dog training theories, positive only, etc. True. Yeah. No, I hear you. Hiring a bad trainer is probably worse than doing nothing. And there are a lot of bad trainers. The one reason the internet's good is because now you can work with trainers remote and you don't have to settle for someone in a 30-mile radius of you. Because take anybody anywhere around the country or the world, 20, 30 miles around them, maybe there's a good trainer. If there is, they're very busy, but a lot of trainers, few good ones. So that's what I try to do with Patreon. Help you from afar. And if you meet me halfway, it can be very effective. Everyone on Patreon, meet me halfway, it can be very effective. But if you go on there, you're on there for a day or two or a few minutes, and you go, oh, there's too much here. I don't see anything that helps me. I don't know, this is too much. I'm out of here. Well, you didn't meet me halfway. You got to stick in there a month. You got to watch 30 videos. Then you got to meet me halfway. Any tips for ring stress? Just started agility competitions with my dog, and the dogs go bananas around the ring, and crowds of people throw her off. She doesn't have the same drive as in training. Well, Hannah, look. Try this on for size. Just started agility competitions. I know she's not the same in training, but if your training is good, you keep showing up to the competitions, you keep doing them, the dog gets more and more under her belt. I want to give that a chance and see if that's going to improve things. If by your 10th competition, she's just as distracted, not the same in training as the first competition, then we got to do some things training-wise. Ideally, with genetics that are perfect for the activity, it takes care of itself. But, you know, I might have to give you the stock dog trainer answer and have you take her a lot of new places, around a lot of new people, and maybe not perform the agility exercises, but perform different play exercises. Things are a little more active. That could definitely help. At what age can you start using a full bite suit? Depends what you're doing with your dog. Just for sport? Go 8 months old. For like real protection? Probably not for a while, if at all. What age should I start to focus my puppy's attention span? I'm only a month in, and my property has lots of smells and things to distract. He's only 4 months, and without food lure, he fades quickly. Yeah, don't worry about that. 4 months is nothing. He don't need to be. He can be outside. Let the puppy go explore outside. Don't worry about that. Yeah, you've only been together for a month. No, give it some time. Enjoy the puppy. You can build the attention span now, but just not in an area where he wants to go do his own thing. First live ever. Welcome. Couldn't be with a better YouTube trainer. You said it. I hope to rejoin the $25 Patreon soon. Love the first few months. Thank you. Thank you very much. Besides the basic commands, are there any other commands you think would be useful for camping, backpacking with a dog? Thanks for the question. I can certainly answer it, but let me warn you. As far as camping and backpacking go, I'm not your guy. No camping or backpacking for this guy. When I was a kid, I lived in the woods, not to sound creepy. Forts, tree houses, camping trips, tents, going caving, hiking. Oh yeah. Now, no, I'm good. I'm all set. I'm good. I'm not going camp. You won't find me camping. I'm not gonna camp. Not a camper. No, I'm not a camper. No, I'll go stay in like a beautiful Airbnb. I am not camping, and then no hiking for me either. Definitely no hikes with me. Definitely not a hike with a dog. That's just not what I like to do. So I can't really tell you anything from firsthand experience because honestly, guys, I'm sorry. Do you want to know the real me? Going camping and backpacking with a dog, to me personally, nothing could sound worse. I hate it. You guys go. I love you guys going. That's going to be a great time for all you guys. That's not your boy's cup of tea. Ain't happening. Sorry. So any commands that would be useful? You know what? I don't know about basic commands, but what would be really useful for camping and backpacking with your dog is your dog just knowing without commands or being on leash to keep like a 30-foot, to stay in a 30-foot radius of you and not much more. Unless it's a big flat space you can see, they can go a little farther. But, you know, if I do go hiking, camping with a dog, someone has kidnapped me and is torturing me. But if I do go, I'd imagine I don't want to micromanage the dog the whole time. I don't want to be spitting commands out every time. I want to enjoy nature. I want to enjoy the hike. I want my dog to enjoy nature. I want them to enjoy the hike. So them just kind of knowing to stay within my area and not do anything stupid, that's more important to me than even a heel sit down stay. But I'm definitely not going camping and hiking. Did I say that yet? Thanks for the advice about not stressing. I've been stressing. I know you've been stressing. It's hard out there. No stress. Hey, it's just a dog. You're going to get the dog trained, but you got to change what you've been doing. That's it. And you're doing that now. Take notes on the videos you watch. No stress. It's just a dog. It's just a dog. Zufa. Okay. I totally agree with you on the prong and e-collars. You've both with great success. Yep. Ashley says, I hate hearing arguments for banning tools. They're the worst trainers as examples. Shows ignorance, like using serial killers as an example for why hammers should be banned. I mean, Ashley said it pretty accurately there. So the whole ban on equipment, e-collars, prong collars, if you see Johnny Goofball, self-proclaimed dog trainer, using a prong like a goofball, yeah, it makes prongs look pretty bad. If you see Mr. Stupid using the e-collar, yeah, it makes the e-collar look pretty bad. If you don't see Mr. Awesome Trainer or Mrs. Awesome Trainer using the prong and e-collar, that's all you see is stupid. So you go, wow, that guy, he's a professional trainer. He should know what he's talking about. That tool's no good. It really is. It's like using the worst examples as why something should be banned. Do the math. Oh boy. Axel Fuzz is going to get me in trouble. Quick opinion on these trainers. Tom Davis, Beckman's Dog Training, American Standard Dog Training, Will Atherton, Denise Fenzi, my opinion. One time years ago on a live, I gave my unfiltered opinion on one of those. And then someone in the comments was like, they could probably sue you for saying that. I'm like, yeah, probably. Probably should delete that one. Tell you my opinion. I wouldn't recommend any of them to my clients or potential clients. Is that so bad? Nope. I think they suck. Yeah. Not for me. But you already knew that. I think we all knew that. You guys think they're good? Okay. Okay. Just kidding, guys. This is all a total joke. I love all of them and they're great. Come on. Kyle says, common sense isn't common amongst people. LOL. Common sense is a rare sixth sense. Only a few have. I mean, it's sadly kind of true. But obviously everyone on here, on my Patreon, they're the people with the sixth sense. They're the smart ones. Hello from Denmark. Thank you. Say hi to Kevin for me. I'll do that. What percentage of drive, aggression, ability to train is lost after a dog is fixed or neutered? What percentage? It's different for the males and the females. I know it's crazy. It's crazy, crazy to say that males are in fact different than females. And we're talking about dogs here being spayed and neutered. So let's focus here. If I had to focus on the males, a percentage, I don't know, but it's substantial. It's pretty substantial. It's not 50%, but I think could easily be 25. And I hate having to say this every time, but I do it anyway. It all depends on the dog. I've seen plenty of adult males that are neutered and have been neutered for a really long time, and their frickin' drive is way over the top through the roof. Their aggression is way over the top through the roof. I wish I could neuter them again. So of course it depends, but generally speaking, yeah, that takes a good bit from the dog. I wouldn't do it, but that's me. For PSA, my dog is 6 months old. We did basic obedience and like getting used to bamboo stick and biting. During the end of the training session obedience, he slows down. How do I fix that? But during the end of the training session in obedience, he slows down. I wouldn't really worry about that right now. It's 6 months old. Maybe you're just doing a little bit too much, but it's a 6-month-old puppy. So I wouldn't worry about the slowing down. I mean, I guess it depends what's slowing down, but it's just a puppy. Don't worry about it. Do a little less. Patreon's worth it without a doubt. I've watched hundreds of hours on YouTube from various trainers. Patreon that Andy has is so much better. My mail's so much better. Well, thank you. That's the goal. If my Patreon wasn't better than all these YouTube trainers, I would take this nice wood desk here and I would launch my face into it repeatedly, because that would be pathetic. But thank you. I'm glad it's helping. Andy, to contact you about board and train for my GSD, where do I find that information? Love the live chat. Thank you, Michael. Unfortunately, I know it seems crazy, but I'm probably all done with board and trains for this year. I have several scheduled coming up, and then I have some competition, so I'm too booked on the very few board and trains that I do, but I'm too booked on them. So your next best thing is just going to be me helping you virtually on the Patreon. I apologize, but I'm booked up. Yep, and this is back to the puppy slowing down question, but I think you got the answer. Okay, guys, we did it again. Live chat every Friday. Told you I'd be back. Thank you all for the questions. I hope some of the answers can help in some way. Try to give the best I can without actually seeing the dog, so you got to be careful. But I appreciate you guys being here. Go check out some of my videos. It's definitely going to be worth it. Now shut this off and go train your dog. What are you doing here? We'll see you guys on the next video. Be patient. See you guys.